Welcome to the Switch Style Podcast, where we encourage you to think beyond what you hear. I'm your host, Smooth, and this is actually episode 53. So, audience, coming up on episode 53, I'll actually update the charts for you. Let you know what's coming out this Friday, April 7th, 2017. And I'm actually reviewing Charlie Wilson's In It to Win It. And I know a lot of people were excited about Charlie Wilson's album, so we'll jump into that very soon. But before we do that, if you like what you hear, I would definitely love to have you subscribe to the podcast. You can find it on iTunes, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, and YouTube. And also, while you're at it, go check out the new jacksjournal.com. Again, that's jacksjournal.com. And that's spelled JACS journal.com. You can go find the podcast there, and you can find all of my written reviews as well. And also, again, I go by the name of Smooth. And also go follow me on Twitter at Jack's Journal. So check that out. But let's go ahead and jump into the show. On the Billboard 200, Drake's More Life earns a second consecutive week at number one, earning 226,000 units. Only 43,000 of those were traditional album sales. And I always point that out, especially with an artist like Drake, because it's important to know that many of his sales, or most of Drake's music, is actually consumed through streaming. And in my opinion, Drake is probably the number one streaming artist of all time. And keep in mind that streaming is still fairly new. It's still a pretty new way to consume your music. But Drake definitely does lead the pack in that area. And at number 3, Trey Songz. He scores his 5th top 10 album as Tremaine starts with 67,000 units. 45,000 of those were in traditional album sales. So I don't know if you guys picked that up, but Trey Songz actually sold more physical CDs and digital downloads than Drake. Drake sold 43,000 this week, and Trey Songz actually sold 45,000. So we'll actually move on to the Hot 100. On that chart, Ed Sheeran leads the pack for a 10th week with Shape of You. So congrats to Ed Sheeran for his 10th week at number one with Shape of You. Trey Songz with another top 10 album. And Drake, he continues to lead the 200 with More Life. And he's closing in on 1 million in sales. So congrats to all three of those artists. And we'll actually go ahead and move on to what's new. So this Friday, April 7th, 2017, look out for new albums from Grammy-winning duo The Chainsmokers, who will release their debut studio album titled Memories Do Not Open. Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Deep Purple, they return with their latest effort, Infinite. And Brooklyn-bred MC Joey Badass is back with his second full-length LP titled All American Badass. So check out those 3 albums. They all come out this Friday, April 7th. And before we move on, there's a lot of albums that I miss every week that I'm just not aware of, but I do want to go back out and point a few of those albums out to you guys that I think you definitely should check out. And first among that group is actually Raekwon. He's back with The Wild, and if you don't know Raekwon, he's a member of the Wu-Tang Clan, and he's the author of the hip-hop classic Only Built for Cuban Links. So check that out. And next up is Mike Will Made It. He's back with Ransom 2, and Ransom 2 is the sequel to his first compilation of the same name. If you don't know Mike Will Made It, he's actually the super producer who's responsible for Ray Shrimmer's Black Beatles, Beyonce's Formation, and Kendrick Lamar's latest single, Humble. And next is Freddie Gibbs. He's a rapper out of Indiana. He's still more so known as an underground rapper, but he's quietly built a very solid catalog, and I think you guys should check him out. So check out Freddie Gibbs, who's back with You Only Live Twice. And Kodak Black. All you Kodak Black fans out there, he's back with Painting Pictures. He scored a top 10 hit in Tunnel Vision earlier this year. So all of you Kodak Black fans, go check that out. And R&B songstress Leela James, she's back with Did It For Love. This is actually her 6th album, so check out Leela James. And last but not least, my favorite on this list is actually an outstanding jazz vocalist by the name of Somi. She's back with her latest Petite Afrique. So go check out Somi. I'm very big on Somi out of everybody on that list that I just named. So definitely go check them out, and I'll just run them down very quick. Raekwon, The Wild, Mike Will Made It, Ransom 2, Freddie Gibbs, You Only Live Twice, Kodak Black, Painting Pictures, Leela James, Did It for Love, and Somi, Petite Afrique. And don't forget about the albums that come out this Friday, April 7th. And those albums are Memories Do Not Open by the Chainsmokers, Infinite by Deep Purple, and All American Badass by Joey Badass. So check those out. Now we'll actually move on to Charlie Wilson. And actually, audience, again, you can find this review, you can find my take on it at jacksjournal.com. Again, that's jacksjournal.com. That's spelled JACS journal.com. So go check that out. So let's go ahead and learn a little bit about Charlie before we jump into it. And chances are, if you're listening, you're probably familiar with Charlie Wilson and you might know just about everything I'm about to tell you. But I'll go ahead and do it anyway for those of you who don't know. So Charlie Wilson was born January 29th, 1953 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He began his career in the 1970s as lead singer of the legendary funk group The Gap Band. If you didn't know, The Gap Band's biggest hits include Early in the Morning, You Dropped a Bomb on Me, Outstanding, Yearning for Your Love, and Burn Rubber, Why You Wanna Hurt Me. Charlie released his solo debut, You Turned My Life Around, in 1992, and followed it with 7 additional solo albums, starting with Bridging the Gap in 2000. Since 2005, Charlie Wilson has dominated Billboard's adult R&B chart, collecting 16 entries as a lead artist, including the #1 hits Charlie Last Name Wilson, There Goes My Baby, You Are, and My Love Is All I Have. Charlie is currently on a tour that launched February 8th, 2017 with Fantasia and Johnny Gill as guests. And I do want to point this out. On the tour's first 16 stops, Charlie Wilson and company, they have sold 121,155 tickets, earning $8.1 million in sales. Right now, it's one of the hottest tours out, so catch it before it's over. And I also do want to point out, Charlie Wilson has also collected 11 Grammy nominations himself. So not only has he been a commercial success, but his peers love him as well, especially when you look at those 11 Grammy nominations. So I'll actually go ahead and give you my take on Charlie Wilson's In It to Win It. All right, here we go. My life has been mapped out by God, so this is why I'm still here. And those are the words of Charlie Wilson. At 64 years young, Charlie Wilson has continued to thrive in a marketplace littered with peers half his age. A man of Charlie Wilson's talent could easily take sole credit, but he graciously attributes God for his uncommon longevity. His acknowledgement of God's work in his life is not a gimmick. It's his testimony. Wilson's open declaration of his faith has not only powered the latter half of his life, but also provides a foundation for his 8th solo album, In It to Win It. At its core, In It to Win It is the story of a young man from Tulsa, Oklahoma, who overcame racism, substance abuse, and homelessness to become one of music's most adored stars. Subconsciously, it also places Charlie Wilson among a new set of peers and audience. His recent work and life outside of music have pointed toward a more religiously based direction. For example, the album's lead single, Blessed, is all the proof you need. Charlie rededicates his life to God during his opening monologue and even promises, "I'ma shout you out and I'ma testify and we gonna have a little church up in there." The ambient piano and heavenly synths provide a perfect backdrop as he shares the many reasons he has to smile. Chills doesn't follow the same faith-based theme, but is respectful in its admiration of a significant other. It is quite possibly the collection's most lyrically creative moment, boasting lines like "Her smile can make a grown man blush like his very first crush." Pitbull helps get the party started on the energetic good time. The funky bass lines, section horns, and very vocal chants bring about memories of his days with the legendary Gap Band. Charlie plays it cool on the persistent Ush Trust, while Wiz Khalifa plays a convincing wingman. In It to Win It's title track is a moving display of Wilson's unshakable ambition. Made for Love is simply stunning. Layla Hathaway, who's affectionately referred to as niece in the album's liner notes, assists on the soaring duet. They alternate lines over an elegant production that is grand in every way imaginable. Wilson and Hathaway both provide first-rate vocal performances, and it should be remembered as one of 2017's final moments. Gold Rush is exotically seductive and the album's most adventurous production. Charlie's old buddy Snoop Dogg lends a hand, extending one of music's most fruitful relationships. It feels slightly out of place, but it's too good to be denied. The album's closing track reroutes the subject matter to its original focus. Amazing God is exactly what its title suggests. The production runs the gamut of contemporary Christian gospel within 5 minutes and includes an all-too-short vamp that'll bring you to your feet. Ultimately, In It to Win It extends Charlie Wilson's winning streak and cements his status as leader of R&B's adult division. He continues to be the hardest working and most consistent among his peers. Furthermore, his tireless work ethic and output prove that age is simply a number. So there you go. That's my take on Charlie Wilson's In It to Win It. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, and a few of the songs that you have to hear are Blessed, which is the lead single, Chills, Us Trust, which features Wiz Khalifa, Made for Love, that features Layla Hathaway, and Gold Rush, which features Snoop Dogg. It's another solid album, another great addition to Charlie Wilson's catalog. And if you're a Charlie Wilson fan, definitely go pick it up. If you're a fan of a more traditional style of R&B, or if you're just looking for something that feels really good, this is the album for you, and I think you'll probably like it. So thank you, everybody, for listening. I sincerely appreciate it, especially if you made it this far. I know you have a lot of other things you could be listening to, a lot of movies or TV shows you could be watching, but you decided to be here with me for this brief amount of time. So for that, I do appreciate it. And that's it for now. So again, my name is Smooth, and you can find me at Jack's Journal on Twitter. You can also email me at switchedoutpodcast@gmail.com. Go subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, and YouTube. And you can also find the podcast and my take on Charlie Wilson's In It to Win It at jacksjournal.com. Again, that's JACS Journal.com. So thanks again, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Peace.